Welcome back to the Office of Housing Voucher Programs training on the HOTMA implementation notice. My name is Jennifer Laverell. During this segment, we're going to cover Attachment K, which addresses contract termination or expiration without extension. HOTMA amends the 1937 Act to establish for families residing in PBV-assisted units a right to remain in the event a contract terminates or expires without extension. Essentially, the family becomes a family with tenant-based assistance and has a right to remain in their unit with the assistance as long as the rent is reasonable and the unit meets HUD's housing quality standards. The statutory notice requirements apply, which means that owners must provide tenants with 1 year's notice. If the PHA agrees, the contract may be extended for a period of time sufficient to provide such notice. And absent adequate notice, tenant rents may not be increased, nor may tenants be evicted due to non-payment of a higher rent. There's a lot on this slide, and we're going to walk through it slowly. If you look at a PBV HAP contract, you'll find a statement that the contract must be interpreted and implemented in accordance with all statutory requirements and all HUD requirements, language along those lines, and that the owner agrees to comply with those requirements. The HOTMA language, however, states in the statute that the contract itself shall specify that tenants have a right to remain. So Congress has essentially mandated a change to the PBV HAP contract. Because of how Congress crafted the language, for any contract that was in effect prior to April 18, 2017, HUD is requiring PHAs to notify owners in writing that this provision is in effect. The language that must be sent to owners is in the notice, so you don't need to write it down. It's this indented paragraph here. You can see that a contract entered into on or after April 18, 2017 must contain the language. For contracts that were entered into on or after April 18, 2017, but before the date of publication of the PIH implementation notice that we're addressing today, PHAs are advised to provide notice to owners in writing that the provision is in effect. In other words, treat those contracts as if they were in effect prior to April 18, 2017. This slide covers factors to take into consideration when transitioning a tenant from a PBV HAP to an HCV HAP contract. So for example, there cannot be duplication of subsidy, of course, even if the HCV HAP is executed prior to the termination of the PBV HAP contract. As required by the regulation, the HCV HAP contract must be executed no later than 60 days from the start of the family's lease. Lastly, the HCV HAP contract rent may be different from that of the PBV HAP contract rent, as long as the HCV HAP contract rent is reasonable. And finally, there are some things to take into consideration with respect to the treatment of a family that is transitioning from PBV to HCV assistance. Specifically, the family shall not be considered a new admission. The family will pay the total tenant payment and any amount by which the rent exceeds the applicable payment standard. The family's initial rent may exceed 40% of its monthly adjusted income, as long as the rent is reasonable. An owner may not terminate the tenancy of a family that exercises its right to remain, other than in response to serious or repeated lease violations or for other good cause. And all other HCV program rules apply. Thank you for your attention.